welcome back to the channel. So, it's Alan. 1975, the year I was born. If you know me, you know the channel. If you don't, it's not complicated, guys. It's a reaction or a review analysis. This is a reaction, first reaction to a singer-songwriter. I kind of know a little bit, but I had to do my research. This is Joan Baez, Diamonds and Rust from a 1975 Diamonds and Rust album. So this is the self-titled single. Let's get into it. What a beautiful acoustic intro. Started with a bass and picked up. Go listen to All About Eve with Martha's Harbour. Listen to that Crashing Waves introduction. This has that same feel. This precedes Martha's Harbour. I'm not suggesting they're copying. There are only so many chords. But it's just that beautiful opening, that acoustic opening. And then her voice is going to kick in. Joan Baez, born Staten Island, Scottish mom. Her dad went on to such a varied life. She's lived such a varied life from what I've read. And when you go and research her, there's pages and books and everything. And I'm not trying to uncover her life. I'm trying to listen to this song, but it's nice to know a little bit about the person you're listening to, just because it gives you some context, some underpinning. Yeah. Pacifist, adopted into the Quaker religion, has held on to that. Interestingly announced years ago, so I've read, I could be wrong, pacifist, I'm not a feminist and I'm not a vegetarian. So she's just saying she's done a lot of work with UNESCO and pacifism and stayed strong to her and activism, and that's okay, I'm cool with that. It's not about that, it's about where does this song come from for me and what does it mean to me. But it helps me understand that this person's not sitting in one ideology wrapped up in everything. She's saying, hang on a minute, that's something I fundamentally believe in. I believe it's the right thing to do. I'm going to carry it through with my life. If you want to pin that label to me, not happening. If you want to pin that label to me, not happening. But this is who I am. I like that. Doesn't matter whether I agree with it or not. Doesn't matter. It's the consistency. But we get that beautiful opening. And is this related to Bob Dylan? Does it matter? I mean, I think this video will have been used by every reactor. So let's see who it is. Dave Bing. Go and subscribe. I will. So the song itself, what does it mean? What's it going to be about? We'll find out. Let's pull it back just a little bit.
Well, I'll be damned. Here comes your ghost again. But that's not unusual. It's just that the moon is full and you happen to call. And here I sit and on the telephone, hearing a voice I'd known a couple of light years ago, heading straight for a fall.
One poet talking to another. It's just one poet talking to another. If you want to allow the linkage, although what I've read is Joan Baez never, ever, ever has said this is about Bob. But I don't think it's a stretch to say it could be, but does it really matter? Because when you tell a story and you tell that story and then you put it out, like I said before, Bowie said this, when he releases a song, it doesn't really belong to him anymore. It belonged to him in the writing, the creation, but once he releases it and charges money for it, it belongs to whoever paid for it. And they can think of it what they want, it's up to them, because he's put it out there for to create thought. His message is, but the interpretation doesn't belong to him. So yeah, it's interesting what we want to make of it. Am I that bothered? Because it's a telling the story of two people and just putting it out there to say, what's your relationship with someone else? How does it manifest itself when you're reintroduced to that person in another world? Because Joan Baez has been going since 58. This is 1975. She's gone through a whole catalogue of musical journeys and adventures, but this feels folky poppy. 75. Yeah, and we'll talk about who I was in 1975. I was 10, so I wasn't listening to Joan Baez, not by choice. I was 10.
As I remember, your eyes were bluer than robin's eggs. My poetry was lousy, you said. Where are you calling from?
Isn't that what people who actually could be in love say to each other when there's a bitterness? A master poet, Dylan, when he writes songs in poetry form, you'll say things to each other, whether it was him or not. But that's what a person would say. You go for the hurtful moment, don't you? You know, like, does my bum look big in this? Well, yeah, it does actually. But it's really as simple as that. It's not rocket science, ladies and gents. You say hurtful things to people you want to hurt because you want to push them away or stay away or not get re-involved. Maybe that's what the story's about.
A booth in the Midwest. 10 years ago I bought you some cufflinks. You brought me something. We both know what memories can bring. They bring diamonds and rust. You burst on the scene, already a legend, the unwashed phenomenon, the original vagabond. You strayed into my arms, and there you stayed, temporarily lost at sea. The Madonna was yours for free. Yes, the girl on the half shell could keep you unharmed.
She's singing about her song. She's talking about how she would protect him at all costs. And it didn't matter who she was. He was already X and she was Y, but it didn't matter. Yeah, 1975, I was 10. I was about to discover, or I think I had, the Brady Bunch, the Partridge Family, Slade. All those things were flying around. I was 10, but it was the world in which I was living in. Yeah. And then she toured in 1975 with Bob Dylan. So, clearly. But the song, it's a beautiful story. And I mean, I guess you could argue that the joke, if you like, the fight back in this is when he says, you know, you're not basically, when the protagonist said, which the one says to the, you're not a poet, what you write is like kind of second string. And she writes a beautiful poetic response. It's fun, isn't it? If you're going to push back for whatever that means, you do it like this. Beautifully.
Now I see you standing with brown leaves falling all around and snow in your hair.
Getting older.
Now you're smiling out the window of that crummy hotel over Washington Square. Our breath comes out, white clouds mingles and hangs in the air. Speaking strictly for me, we both could have died then and there.
That moment in time, you freeze it, you capture it, and beyond that, you don't need anything else. Her analogies are beautiful. Her words are beautiful. I wish I could be a wordsmith like that. I wish I could talk like that. You know, there's a when you hear this kind of reflective song, when I hear it, I don't know about you guys, let me know. When I hear a song that's reflecting and looking back, but it does it beautifully with such use of words and nuance and context and analogies and metaphors, perfect prose. And then you put in a voice that would melt the ice caps because of its power and beauty. You just think, yeah, that'll do. I'll have some of that, thank you. There's the anxiety.
another word for it. You were so good with words and at keeping things vague. 'Cause I need some of that vague.
Use your words to defend your denial. Cool.
Now it's all come back too clearly. Yes, I loved you dearly. And if you're offering me diamonds and rust, I've already paid.
Don't have to kick me when I'm down. I've been down. I've paid the price. Great info there shared by Dave Bing on his site. Rolling Stone, 1975, called it, their own words, a haunting confessional, praising its evocative storytelling and Baez's emotional vocal delivery. I can see that. Makes sense, right? Mojo magazine and a retrospective just talked about emphasising the track's significance as a turning point. That's when she's merged from that folk scene into that more pop folk merged roots into contemporary singer-songwriter. She gave us a glimpse into her private life. She used that as a tool to open up her audience even more. Does it matter? It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. I do. Let's get into Joan Baez even more. Go back to 59, 60, 62. I love it. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Till next time. See ya.